You're watching the Bucs basketball pregame special. Hello, everybody. It's a great time to be an ETSU Buccaneer. The men's basketball team is vying for the top spot in the SoCon as they're set to face off with the Western Carolina Catamounts within the hour. You're watching Bucs basketball pregame. I'm Kenny Hawkins.
And I'm Mackenzie Kane. The Bucs are hitting their stride just in time for SoCon play. We're going to review their season to this point, introduce you to a couple of key players this season, and tell you how we think the Bucs will fare tonight.
Let's get things going with a recap of their season. Just like every other team in the country, the Bucs dealt with the good and bad of the transfer portal. The Bucs had to say goodbye to star guard Kimari Peterson. He's playing his ball at the University of Washington. Karan Boyd also hit the portal after last season and is now playing at Wichita State. But the Bucs did bring in plenty of talent this season. Most notably, ETSU signed West Virginia native Blake Barkley to the squad. He played 4 games last season for the Northwestern Wildcats.
The Bucs hit a roadblock to get the season going. A road trip ended in defeat against Presbyterian College in South Carolina. It was certainly a shock result to lose to the Big South opponent.
Brooks Savage and his men responded well following that defeat. The Bucs would go on to win 7 of their next 8 games. Many of those wins would be blowouts for the Bucs.
But Kenny, it was a not so happy holidays for ETSU. They went into the Christmas break on a 3-game losing streak. That includes losses to Austin Peay, North Carolina, and Jacksonville State at home just before the break.
But the Bucs are kicking it into high gear at the perfect time. ETSU is a perfect 4-0 to open conference play. It all began with a win on the road against the Citadel. That was followed by 3 straight wins at home against Mercer, VMI, and UNC Greensboro. Today, the Bucs are in a league of their own. They're sitting atop the SoCon standings with a perfect record, conference record. They're 1 game ahead of both Furman and Wofford.
Brooks Savage has plenty of SoCon coaching experience. He knows exactly what it's going to take to capture a conference crown. And
it's early, but still, I spoke with Savage about his team's strong start to the season and how they plan to keep the momentum moving forward. Coach, what a start to the season. You're off to 4-0 so far in the SoCon. You're number 1 in the conference. I know it's early, but still, that's a pretty good accomplishment for this team so far.
Yeah, good start. I mean, 3 of them are at home, 1 of them at the Citadel, so I think we've taken care of business, and we are where we hoped and envisioned ourselves we could be. I thought our response coming back from Christmas break has been really locked in. You know, credit to the guys and how connected they are in the locker room. But, you know, a lot of work to be done. We're just 2 weeks into this thing, so a lot can happen. So we're just trying to stay focused on the next one right in front of us and taking them one at a time and continue to play to the identity. And if we do that, you know, we can beat anybody. If we don't, anybody can beat us, and that's kind of been the message in our locker room thus far.
We all know you have talented guards, Brian Taylor, Jalen, I mean, obviously Makai, Struthers, but your front court over the last 2 or 3 games have really stepped up with Cam and Blake.
They've been terrific. Yeah, I think they give us great front court balance. They play well off each other. Both of them are kind of inside-outside threat, can put it on the deck. But they've been tremendous defensively. Their mobility, versatility defensively have allowed us to really cover. And, you know, and then they rebound their position. And so I just think that they're just have gotten better and better as time has gone. And, you know, being able to have somewhere to throw the ball on offense, but also their ability to impact the game defensively has been huge for us.
I mean, let's be honest. I don't know if there's any coach in America that is ever satisfied. This team could be 30-1 right now, and you're still going to say, yeah, but we need to do this. What is the one thing you think they need to do better at this point?
I think those things come and go. I think it changes from game to game. You know, for us, it's been take care of the ball, run back in transition defense, keep it out of the paint, try to be disruptive and pick and roll as much as we can, and then rebound. And when we do those things, being complementary like that, it gives us the best chance to win. And when you play good offense and shots go in and you do all that other stuff, then you have a chance to win by a lot. But just trying to be really disciplined in those things of eliminating losing, controlling what we can control, You know, so it's game to game. Some are better than others. Those categories, some are better than others. And so it's just trying to be as consistent as we can in those. I think they really understand that that's how you win. And winning the margins, being complimentary, helping our defense by not taking bad shots and not turning the ball over. Yeah, all that goes together. And so, you know, we can always continue to improve on those, but I wish we offensive rebounded it a little bit better. But I like when they go in, you don't have as many opportunities to offensive rebound. But I wish our offensive rebound percentage was a little bit higher, generating even more opportunities. But, you know, it's something that we can continue to build out.
You know, most coaches like for teams to take on the personality of the guy in charge. Can you tell that this team is taking on your personality?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think that by and large, I think they play with a great edge, which I think that I coach with, and I would say people probably see that. So yeah, but I think they're, you know, I'm a team guy, and our staff we're all about the team. And I think that they're like that more than just the edge piece or playing hard. They're about the team. That's what's most important to me and to us. And so in that regard, for sure, we've really challenged their toughness. When you have a little bit more skill, you maybe lose some of that ball your fist, inherent grit your teeth type toughness. So we've really challenged that. And we've really tried to coach that up and bring that out of them because it's in there. And I think they've really done a great job of responding to that and playing with toughness and edge and mental and physical toughness, you know. And so in those ways, yeah, I'm happy where we're at, but you can lose it like that, man. So we're just trying to be consistent and make sure we come with that every night.
Next game on the schedule is Western Carolina. Talk about it's always a war against kind of a neighboring rival.
Sure, yeah, never easy. Haven't won down there since 21, I think. So the opportunity to go get a really high-quality win against a good team. They won at Furman, you know, and just like we've tried to tell our team, anybody can beat anybody. They also lost at Citadel. And so they've been on the road 6 or 7 games. They played a lot of road games. They're 4-1 at home. Highly capable team, talented, can really score, tough. They offensive rebound the ball and defensive rebound the ball as good as better than anybody in the league. You know, have a number of guys that can play offense. And so, you know, we've got to go down there and be tough and run back and rebound and do all the things that we try to do every game. But you know, it's just about trying to now take this on the road for 3 in a row. I think we handled business here to start. Now we got to go give ourselves a chance to separate and get some road wins.
Like Coach said, there's no easy game in the SoCon. From top to bottom, it's a physical league with plenty of challenges along the way. If the Bucs want to achieve their dreams, it's going to take a lot of physical performances to get the job done. They showed that grit 2 weeks ago at home to Mercer. The Bucs had to overcome a deficit to get the win, and head coach Brooks Savage put an emphasis on being tough.
Just seeing around the league, you know, bottom half teams are beating upper half teams, and it's just like every game's a new game. So you can win any game and you can lose any game in this conference, and that's definitely what we've seen so far.
We just got to stay connected as a group and just always play hard at all times and not get lazy with our passes, lazy when it comes to defensive coverages, and just stay on point with all our stuff.
There's no off nights. No matter what somebody's record is or if they won or lost the last game, like, you can't look at that stuff. You got to treat everybody. If you want to win a championship, then you got to approach every night like you're playing for one. And they've been really focused, really proud of them. They've really responded, been tough.
The Western Carolina Catamounts are looking to mount a challenge against the Bucs tonight.
Let's move on to highlighting a Buck who's making a major impact. One of ETSU basketball's most reliable contributors didn't always have the ball in his hands or even a spot in the rotation. Blake Barkley is one of those newcomers to Johnson City, transferred in just looking for an opportunity, and he's doing the most with his chance.
After losing a first-team all-league presence in the post, ETSU head coach Brooks Savage needed someone to fill a massive role, and he hoped to find that answer in Blake Barkley.
The hope is probably understatement. I think I probably prayed for this, to be honest with you.
The 6'8" forward transferred from Northwestern after spending most of his time on the bench, playing in just 4 games and averaging a little over 3 minutes per game. Now wearing blue and gold, Barkley has become a fixture in the Buccaneers lineup.
I'm just really grateful to be here, you know, coming from where I came from. I really didn't get an opportunity and stuff, so I'm just glad to be able to help a team and, you know, try to win as many games as we can.
Barkley has started every game this season for ETSU, averaging around 12.5 points per game and shooting nearly 60% from the floor. A big turnaround from his role with the Wildcats.
You know, went to the Big Ten and didn't get the opportunity he was hoping for. And, you know, I like those guys because they got something to prove, and that chip on their shoulder, it makes them run hot.
Savage really believed in me in the preseason and everything and told me, like, you got to keep your confidence up. Like, you know, you haven't played in 2 years, but you're going to come in here and you're going to have an opportunity to play.
His teammates say Barkley's impact goes beyond just the box score.
And not only is he a good cutter and finishing around the rim, but he can shoot the ball too. Spaces the floor out, gives the other guards driving lanes, and he's a very important piece to our puzzle as a team.
Like to be super physical in the post, you know, try to drive you off the lane, bump you as much as I can, and just be physical overall. So I feel like that kind of goes towards my strength.
He's just a violent player. As we play more, he's just going to get better and better, and I think we're starting to see that.
Now, Mackenzie, you talk with Barkley. How big of an impact has the transfer made on the Bucs this season?
Kenny, I think this is the perfect example of a transfer portal success story. In this last game with ETSU, Blake Barkley had his career-high 24 points. It's his 4th consecutive game with 15 points or more. It's his 3rd game, 20-point game this season. If he was back with Northwestern, he might still be right on the bench.
That's right. Hey, the transfer portal worked this time around.
Coming up, we are going to take a deep dive into the matchup between the Bucs and the Catamounts. Why the Bucs should feel confident about the game. Coming up after the break.
You're watching the Bucs basketball pregame special. Welcome back, everyone. You're watching the Bucs basketball pregame special. The Western Carolina Catamounts are up next on the schedule for the Bucs.
Although the Bucs are marching strong through conference play, it's been a much different story for the Catamounts.
They're in the cellar of the SoCon standings with a 5-10 overall record and only 1 conference win so far. It was all smiles for the Bucs in their first matchup with the Catamounts last season. The Bucs took home an 85-58 win at home, but a lot of the production from that win is no longer on the team this season.
It was a much different story in the second matchup in Cullowhee. ETSU struggled from beyond the arc in the 76-67 loss to the Catamounts. ETSU only shot 22% from deep. Their field goal percentage wasn't much better at a dismal 34%. But as we've said, this is a much different ETSU team than last season.
Now, you can take a night off. As every game in this conference, you can't take one off because every game in this conference is important. Now that the Bucs are on top of the SoCon standings, the formula is easy. A win would mean keeping that spot and potentially extending that lead in the conference. A loss would present an opportunity for Furman and Wofford to make up ground on them. Tonight will be the first of 3 games on the road for ETSU. It'll be an important start to the road standoff with a win over Western Carolina. And this is a team that has always played ETSU tough. In fact, the Bucs haven't beaten them over there since 2021.
You got to be curious at what Savage is telling his team, how he's going to allow them to respond, because, you know, this is a shot at making history. This is a shot at breaking that streak, and it's a shot at keeping the streak in undefeated SoCon play.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the way they played in their game against UNC Greensboro, I don't think it matters what anybody else does in the league. Everything was working. If they can keep that up, it's going to be an exciting year. Let's talk about a player who's in his 5th season with the Bucs. Alan Struthers is playing a key role in the starting lineup. He says he is more of a passer than a scorer. He learned a lot about the game of basketball from his father, Lamont. Lamont was drafted in the 2nd round of the 1991 NBA draft by the Golden State Warriors. Although the father and son duo have 2 differently playing styles, Struthers says they're a lot alike, or there are a lot of similarities.
My father was a scorer. That's what he did. He was he put the ball in the basket. So, but the things that he taught me, I was able to put to my game to see the floor. He could see the floor like I could. He could jump like I could. So I take away a lot of the stuff that he taught me and added to how I played my game.
The redshirt senior has racked up 59 assists so far this season.
Coming up, we are going to highlight a few Bucs who are making an impact on the team in more ways than just one. We'll introduce you to them after the break, but first, here's a look at the remaining regular season schedule for the Buccaneers.
You're watching the Bucs basketball pregame special. We've gone over plenty of players who are making an impact on this ETSU Buccaneer basketball team.
But there's a few guys who are making an impact beyond just the scoreboard. From preparation to motivation, the practice squad is playing a huge role in this team's success.
They don't always show up in the box score, but they show up every day.
Because of these guys, our scout team guys, our red team.
Shout out red team. Shout out our scout team and the guys that prepared us well. They prepared us extra well.
In one of the program's best starts to conference play in years, preparation has been a constant for the ETSU Buccaneers men's basketball team. And much of it starts with a group wearing red in practice. Game after game, the scout team studies opponents, learns new systems on short notice, and recreates game plans so the rotation players can adjust before tip-off.
They come in, they have to learn all this new stuff every few days, all right? And I'm on them, you can ask them, because of how important it is.
The switch from a starting role in high school to working behind the scenes requires a mindset shift, one rooted in team success.
It's a big difference going from playing like the entire game, every game in high school, to like barely getting in or any looks. But we got a lot of experience and age on the team, dudes that like belong to be on the court, and we just try to prepare them as best as we can.
Freshman guard Maddox Huff spent most of the season injured, but his path back to the court started with helping the Bucs prepare for their third SoCon win this season against VMI.
This is my first game being on the red, being on scout. You know, they've been doing this all year, and, you know, we've had such a great season so far, so it kind of shows, it's a testament to them and how much they've done.
Coming up, we've told you plenty about the Bucs and Catamounts, but who is going to come out of tonight's game on top? Mackenzie and myself will let you know who we believe will win after the break. You're watching the Bucs basketball pregame special. Welcome back. You're watching Bucs basketball pregame. We've told you all that you need to know about Bucs basketball and their opponent tonight, the Western Carolina Catamounts. But now it's time to let you know who we think will come out on top in tonight's games. Ladies first, we'll start with you. Who do you think will come out on top?
Well, Kenny, to me, it always comes down to the same commonality in opponents. ETSU beat the Citadel by 25. Catamounts lost to the Citadel, so I have ETSU winning this in a blowout 14-point game. Buccaneers 82, Catamounts 68.
Is that right?
That's right.
That's what you're going with?
I know they've got a little bit of shakiness when it comes to road
games.
games.
In Cullowhee in the last 4 or 5 years.
And this is going to be a game worth watching, Kenny. Wow. This is where they break the streak. It's lonely at the top, but they're going to stay there. Kenny, what about you?
I tell you what, because it's been since 2021, we agree on one thing. I think ETSU wins this game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Now, I would love for it to be, don't get me wrong, but I think it's going to be close. I mean, we talked about this earlier. ETSU gets everyone's best shot, okay? So this is going to be a different Western Carolina team that lost to the Citadel that the Bucs are about to play. They're going to play their best game tonight. I'm going to tell you, they're going to be hitting shots from the parking lot, all right? But with that being said, I think ETSU hangs on to win 76-70.
Well, Kenny, let's remind you to show you where the Bucs stand in that SoCon. ETSU, of course, leading the way. They're followed by Furman and Wofford with both just having one conference loss. Kenny, how do you feel about the Bucs being able to keep their spot, and how will they perform in Asheville?
Well, real quickly, I mean, it's still early in the season. I mean, it's only been 4 games, so we got a long way to go. But it is going to be telling the fact that they have 3 road games. ETSU has to do at least 2 or 3, right? 2 or 3 of these road games. So the thing about it is we got a front row seat, and it's going to be fun to watch. Hey, listen, thank you for watching the Bucs basketball pregame show. Now it's time to catch the Bucs in action next on ABC Tri-Cities.